Caitlin Clark is currently hurt. They are set to face off against the Dallas Wings possibly in the next hour or so. But there is some headlines, man. This time it's in regards to one of her teammates, and that is Natasha Howard. Now, Natasha Howard really ain't been in the news too much, man. She's been balling out. It looked like she's been staying out the way. She don't say too much online either to make the headlines, but one thing I can say, this time she definitely did.
Natasha Howard's recent comment about Caitlin Clark has set the internet ablaze, sending WNBA Twitter into a full-blown meltdown as fans react with the kind of energy usually reserved for a live roast. Whatever filter Howard once had seems to have vanished, and now she finds herself at the center of a drama storm so intense it feels like something Bravo would want to license. The big questions remain: what exactly was said, and why is everyone losing it? One thing is certain: this saga is heating up faster than a hot mic left on during a commercial break.
Were you excited to play with Caitlin?
I was.
Yeah. So talk about that. Your first impressions of her?
My first impression of her when I first seen her, I'm like, dang, like, this is what everybody's talking about right here. Yeah. This girl right here. Just getting to know Caitlin more and stuff like that. Like, she reminded me of a little sister. Like just letting her know that you don't have to do everything. Like you have to do in Iowa. Like you have great teammates and phenomenal players around you that could take that weight off your shoulder. You don't have to do everything. Like we expect you to knock down those clutch shots. Like that's what we expect you to do. But like overall, like you don't have to do everything. Like you don't. Like let us give us some of your pressure too. Like
when Caitlin Clark was ambushed in broad daylight in what felt like a WNBA mashup of Mean Girls and Royal Rumble, all eyes turned to Natasha Howard, who was close enough to step in but seemed to forget how to move. From her front row view, she had a perfect angle on the chaos, yet her immediate reaction was nothing. No movement, no response, just silence in the moment.
This current clip right here is going viral. Correlation stated they all gotta play better. That's nice to say, but we haven't seen that yet. Depression CCAKG stated Natasha Howard on being Caitlin Clark teammate.
It was like watching someone drop their video game controller mid-battle and just stare as the main character got clobbered. Caitlin Clark clearly needed backup, but Natasha Howard gave nothing but "not my problem" energy. This wasn't a case of being late to the scene either. She was standing right there, in prime position to stop the chaos, maybe even throw in a shove, or at the very least show a little veteran leadership and pretend to care.
The Fever are building a winning culture. Even though you're down, even though you're getting physically beat up, because they were being out physicaled, and you still found a way to win. Natasha Howard balled out, and that's...
But instead of stepping in, Howard stood there like someone watching a soap opera plot twist she might have secretly been rooting for. She saw the whole thing unfold, processed it, and then chose a blank expression so neutral it could have been submitted to the United Nations as a model for peacekeeping.
A lot of America, Caitlin Clark is the hero, and everyone that flagrantly fouls her, speaks poorly of her, acts like she's not great, is the villain, and then vice versa. How big of a part of the story is that when you look at the conflict surrounding Caitlin Clark?
You would have thought that the arrival of this superstar in the WNBA would have been seen as what it is, which is the greatest thing to ever happen to the WNBA. So she arrives, and of course, my thought, a white woman from Iowa in a 74% black league. That's an issue. And I look at the way players like Diana Taurasi, Brianna Stewart, Cheryl Swoops with her flurry of falsehoods, Cheryl Reeve, the Olympic coach, Gina Auriemma, really tried to minimize her.
Let's be real. This wasn't just a passive moment. It was a loud silence. The kind that practically screamed, "Oops, did my envy just show?" Because this wasn't only about letting a teammate get jumped. It was about exposing just how uninterested Natasha Howard seems in protecting the so-called golden goose, or even faking the sisterhood badge so many players pretend to wear. And it goes deeper than that one scene. This has been simmering longer than a crockpot full of petty. Game after game, possession after possession, it's become painfully obvious that Howard has zero intention of feeding Caitlin Clark the ball. None. You could dangle a bonus check, a Netflix docuseries, and a sneaker deal in front of her, and she still wouldn't make that pass. You'd get better cooperation out of airport Wi-Fi. She'll scan the court like she's solving a Sudoku puzzle, look right at Caitlyn wide open and waving, and then pivot away so fast you'd think she'd seen a ghost. The ball always goes anywhere but to the sharpshooter. At this point, it's not an accident, not a misread. It's a mission. Operation. Do not assist Caitlyn Clark. Even Stevie Wonder could see it. And yet, after the final buzzer, Howard still goes through the post-game motions like everything's peachy. Maybe a forced smile here or there. But it's the same kind of fake calm a cat shows right before knocking a glass off the counter. Passive-aggressive professionalism wrapped neatly in a jersey. If Envy had a stat line, Natasha Howard would be averaging a triple-double.
And now she's saying that she has Caitlyn's back. Well, you could have fooled me. And the reason I'm saying that is not because you're not helping her out with advice, you're not being there for practice, you're not giving her nuggets from your, I don't know how long you've been in 14, 15-year career. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about brass tacks when the rubber meets the road. When Caitlyn getting her head bashed in during the season, I need you to put somebody on the ground. I need you to flagrant foul somebody. I need you to get in somebody's...
Let's not kid ourselves. We all see what's really happening here. Caitlyn Clark shows up with the fame, the fanfare, and the freakish numbers, and suddenly her teammates are acting like she stole their childhood dreams and a few endorsement deals. Natasha Howard very much included. If you came expecting grown woman teamwork, unity, or veteran wisdom, you've clearly wandered into the wrong locker room. Howard's energy isn't just I don't pass to her. It's I'd rather throw up a contested fadeaway into a triple team than give Caitlyn an open look from the arc. And the comedy is how blatant it is. This isn't subtle sabotage. It's practically a choreographed routine. Dribble, glance at Caitlyn, ignore, bounce it off a teammate's shin, repeat. Even in that dust up, call it a brawl or a hard foul with attitude. If you want to sound PR friendly, Howard's response wasn't mere indifference. It felt layered, calculated, almost gleeful in its restraint, like she was savoring karma in real time. You could practically hear the inner monologue. Oh no, she got shoved. That's so unfortunate. Anyway.
Might be Caitlyn Clark's second year, but like the moves they make, the players they brought in reflect a desire to win now. Stephanie White in her first team meeting was open about wanting to have her players show unity. We're going to need to block out the noise. We're going to need to be united throughout. But also, they want to win. Like Caitlyn Clark, when I asked her point blank at Media Day, what does a successful season look like? She said, quote, a championship. And so like that really is the goal for them. And when they brought in all these players, the other thing that they were missing was playoff experience. And so that is why they brought in Howard, Bonner, and Colson, all of whom have won W.
Meanwhile, real teammates, the kind who don't let jealousy run wind sprints through their soul, would have been in that scuffle like WWE tag team reinforcements. Elbows out, voices raised, consequences be damned. But Natasha? She adjusted her ponytail, maybe blinked twice, and called it a day. Not even a courtesy jog toward the commotion, just premium apathy, radiating professional level this doesn't concern me vibes. Now imagine being Caitlyn Clark. You're on the floor getting clobbered, probably coughing up floor polish, and when you look up, your own teammate is giving you the same expression people reserve for expired coupons. That's not just a cold shoulder, that's emotional frostbite. And coming from someone positioned as a team leader, it's comedy bordering on tragic.